Good morning. It is 6:27 a.m. on Tuesday, July 23rd, 2019. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. So, one note is that today, this evening, will be episode 100 of the So Many Levels campaign. Now, in some ways, this sort of anniversary feels a little bit strange because the numbering of the So Many Levels campaign is actually a little bit imperfect. There's some one-shots that it's not clear if they should count or not. And then, of course, I ran, other various one-shots that definitely weren't counted. And then also the whole Curse of Strahd campaign. So I've certainly done more than 100 episodes, but it's a milestone still, no doubt. And that's exciting. Plus, I've got, big plans for the episode tonight, so excited about that. But I also went to the gym yesterday, and one of the things that amused me during my exercise yesterday was that where I use the elliptical machines at my gym, you can look out a window, and in particular what it looks down over is an athletic field where they have some sort of a kids day camp sort of thing. So there's lots of little kids running around on like a little athletic field, and of course counselors, teachers, whatever you call them, hanging out there taking care of them. And it's interesting because although I can see out the window, it's a relatively small little slice of everything that's going on down there in that field. And so frequently, I'll see one kid playing catch with other kids, and I'll be able to see him throw, but not where the ball goes to, because that's where the wall is. So occasionally it creates all of these little micro dramas of moments of interaction between these kids and that sort of thing. And I see them playing around with each other, being silly with each other, happy when their parents come, arguing, that sort of thing. But yesterday in particular, there was a whole little sequence of events that had me just amused, but also just like in my feels a little bit, just because there was one little kid, probably 4, who was just having a rough day. And well, I say that it's possible that this kid is got some other larger kind of issue that I'm not aware of, because obviously all I know about is what I was witnessing through the window on that particular day. So who knows if the kid is maybe on the spectrum or something like that. But in any event, the sequence of events that I witnessed was this kid, like I said, probably 4, running in from off stage where I couldn't see, running directly over to the trash can that was set up by some picnic tables, shoving over the trash can, taking off the lid, and essentially proceeding to try to just make a huge mess by dumping all the trash out. And shortly after doing this, we see 2 teachers running over to basically stop him from making this huge mess in the trash. And so they first are trying to just talk to him without, like grabbing him or anything. But they do sort of pull the trash can, slightly away so that he's not right there next to it. And they're talking to him, and he's yelling, and he's going for the trash can some more, and they have to kind of block him a little bit. And then he kind of throws himself on the ground sitting, and you can see, like, I'm intuiting from body language that what they're telling him is, this is not okay. You're making a big mess. We need you to help pick up the garbage. And, he sits there kind of sulky for a little bit. And then eventually he does stand up, and at their direction starts, they lift the trash can back up, and he's picking up some of the trash and putting it in there. And he does like 3 pieces of trash and then back down on the ground. And I mean, like, like sitting in it, like sulky sort of slouch, as opposed to like throwing himself face down or something. But in any event, so they're talking to him some more. There's this period where they are just kind of, for an extended period, he's just sitting there, and they're sitting there talking to him. And then eventually he gets up again, and he puts a few more pieces of trash in there, and then tries to run away. And they have to go kind of corral him back. It's like, no, you haven't picked up all the trash. And then he basically starts he starts sort of flailing at them, like they're making him do what he doesn't want to do. And he's like, it's like hitting, only it's like a 4-year-old, so it's like there's no danger here for the teachers. But he's kind of flailing, and it's like, that's not okay. So like there's a moment where one of the teachers, and when I say teachers, I should add that these are like, probably like college freshmen or something like that, right? This is a summer job. In any event, so, one of the teachers is kind of just absorbing all of these blows, looking at the other one, just like, what do we do here? And eventually they kind of just try to sort of get him into like a little bit of a hug, so he can't keep doing that. He's squirming all around, and then they kind of end up sort of scooping him up and then carrying him off to where I can't see anymore. And then, while he is, while the one teacher, carries him off, the other teacher, finally does, turns the trash can right side up again, puts all the trash in, and, and I thought this was the end of the story. But like 15 minutes later, that same kid, now wearing a different t-shirt, runs in from off stage straight to the trash can and immediately tips it over again, followed in short pursuit by these same 2 teachers running after him. And cue a largely, kind of a repeat of the whole thing, where they kind of have to corral him away. They don't try to make him pick up the trash this time. They're just corralling him away. And, this is one of those things, too, where I can't help but just be curious about what has this kid so fixated on the trash can. It's like, I don't know, like, did he want something? Is he just trying to make a mess to make a mess? I don't know. It's fascinating. Anyway, though, I just very much, as someone who has worked, at a daycare center before, I graduated school and all that. And, I'm very, my heart is with those poor teachers, which is just like, boy, there's just, that's one of the things about dealing with little kids, is that they are not always rational, and it is sometimes you just don't know what to do. And so I was really with them, but I was also so curious about why this kid was so fixated on the trash can, because like this, after the second time, literally, they're having a conversation with him, trying to explain why he shouldn't do this, and he'll try to walk around them to push the trash can over again. And then they try to corral him around, and like they have to keep heading him off because he keeps trying to run back to the trash can to tip it over again. There was lots of stuff. Why the trash can? Why the trash can? I don't know. Anyway, I'll probably never know because my window was short. Anyway, I will leave it there for now, and I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.